Our team being honored today at the New Hampshire Legends of Hockey induction ceremony, the New Hampshire Selects. And from the New Hampshire Selects, a legendary team here in New Hampshire and beyond. Dennis Nolan, Sarah Nelson, Steph Akers, David Boudrias, and Tara Mounsey. Great to have all of you here.
Nice to be here.
All right, well, tell us about the first time. We'll go around the chairs here, and tell us about the first time you were aware of the New Hampshire Selects.
Well, we started out, the Select name started out in Kearsarge, and we started dealing with them as far as all our players, which were our daughters at the time. Mm-hmm. And then when they aged out of being able to be in strictly boys or girls combined, when they started checking, we started the New Hampshire Selects because the girls in Kearsarge had aged out, so we ended up starting like a Pee-wee squirt mite division and through the New Hampshire Selects. And then that's how we started with that particular name. Prior to that, it was called Kearsarge Selects.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So,
Tara?
Yes, so it's a program that was rooted in growth and change, and back when it started, it was led by mostly dads. There were a few moms involved, but that's something special. If you look back at the time in the 80s, and many of these dads had daughters and wanted change, wanted opportunity, and that's what I remember. And I was quite young at the time, Ken, so it's hard to recall all of this, but what a special program with providing all of us a tremendous opportunity.
Yeah, and go ahead.
Yeah, I think like many of us, I was the only girl in the Youth Hockey Association up in Hanover, and we were playing with boys and enjoying it, but I was so excited when in the late 80s, when I was 10 or 11 years old, I got to join this group of other young girls playing hockey, and it was just really special. We got to play on our boys' Pee-wee teams, but then come together and play on the state team, and got to do a lot of fun traveling. It was a really important time.
Dennis?
It became a very good outlet for the girls to play with a bunch of girls that could really play well. But at that time, it was still tough to find teams to play. And these girls are very dedicated. I can remember 6 p.m. practices at Proctor on a Sunday night after football.
It was very cold.
It was cold.
Yeah.
But the only other teams that could really play there were 2 in Massachusetts, 1 in Connecticut, 1 in Rhode Island, 1 in Maine. So then we petitioned the state. They allowed us to play in the boys' league, which worked out really well because we needed so many games to play in a regional or go to a national. So it was a really good outlet for the girls to get some exposure, and a lot of girls went on to play college. I mean, a lot of the selects did. Sarah at Dartmouth, you at Brown, you at Northeastern. So it was a time and place where it really worked out well, and it blossomed, and we had the selects going until 2005, and then we just said, geez, now there's all these teams in the state. So kids didn't have to travel so far. So that's when we disbanded.
I'd say it was a great time for myself. I was one of the smaller girls out there, so I was playing boys and girls at the same time. So it was a great transition for me to go and play with the selects as well. So it was great timing for me. Tara and I played with the boys for years, and then transferring into the girls, it was that time because I was a little bit older than some of them. So to have that avenue, it was a great resource for me, and to be able to go and chat with them.
And this is really in the early stages of when girls were starting to play hockey on a more regular basis, and before any professional leagues or anything like that. And you guys make quite a name for yourself in New England. First of all, in New England, winning various championships.
Yeah, we did. We won the states, the regionals, and we went on to make a national name for ourselves.
Yes,
and,
well, yeah, I was gonna get to
that. So that was what a special moment in our careers and an opportunity to, we were the underdogs,
Yeah.
and we were this gritty, committed team out of New Hampshire that just took it to everyone. And looking back, just such a great experience and a great opportunity.
We had a lot
It
of fun.
really was. You represented us extremely well. And as Tara said, you guys were the definite underdogs. So did that give you a little chip on your shoulder? Did that make you perform better out on the ice?
I think it made us work harder and brought us together as a team more. We all wanted it, and we wanted to make our name. And just after this whole experience, we were able to open up into colleges and stuff like that, so it paved the way for us all.
Yeah, I mean, and this was at a time, and you say go on to college, but you were, high school age, or even, just about high school age at that time. And, the story is New Hampshire went on to win that tournament, the national tournament in Duluth, Minnesota. And what an experience that must have been. What do you remember most about those games out in Duluth, playing against national competition?
First of all, that was our first full team practice. It was our first full team practice
Really?
because there was always somebody missing.
Yeah.
Boys going wherever they were going. And this one here was our first full team
We had to
practice.
drive a lot, Dave, to get to practice. It was a long drive.
Right. But it was fun. And like Dennis had spoken up about how we played the boys. Well, if that doesn't give a young lady a little chip on their shoulder to begin with, it's going to be.
True.
And yeah, we played a team with only 5 players because that's how many.
That's all you needed, Dave.
And we did.
We have a goalie?
We did. So we ended up with, there was plenty of times. I remember pulling Gina off the ice and nope, she's got to be on the ice. Okay, so she stood by the door. When the puck dropped, she came in, and so now we played 4-on-5 just because we didn't have enough players.
Wow.
So, but
You really came a long way, that's for sure. I've heard stories out there about some karaoke that went on as well in Duluth.
I think you can
Yeah,
speak to
well,
that.
you're going to talk about Minnesota and Duluth. I just remember having so much fun with this group of friends. We were dressed in head to toe, green and blue, like Dave is wearing there. And I just remember working hard, playing hard, but having such a fun time in the hotel. And we sang a lot of, I think it was ACD Thunderstruck. And there was some karaoke. And then I was a freshman in high school, so I remember arriving home to the Manchester airport and being greeted by family with signs and balloons. And then I think we got a police escort
We did.
to a pizza place
Yeah.
for a celebratory dinner. And I just remember feeling it was one of the most magical moments of my childhood for sure.
I mean, this was a big, big deal. Because really, girls hockey at that time in New Hampshire was almost non-existent, right? Yeah, I mean, it's not certainly what it is today and what it's become now, which is terrific. But you guys really were trailblazers. You paved the way, really, for all these girls coming up today. And that's terrific.
There wasn't many girls playing in New Hampshire, but we took a team up to Brampton, Ontario,
Yeah.
and in Canada, and we played different games, and most of them were at high schools because they had rinks. And there was like 80 or 100 teams there,
Yeah.
mostly Canada.
Yeah.
But here we are, and I think we won our division.
We did.
And New Hampshire wins the whole thing. I mean, it was a great story at the time. It's a great story today. You got a police escort when you landed. I mean, who could ask for more than that, right? And then you've all gone on and done so well, and in your professional lives, it's really something. And it was a great start, wasn't it? And it propelled you to reach greater heights.
And that was a 15 and under team.
Yep.
And then the next step was a 19 and under team, a midget team. And So we had one of those, and that team did very well too.
Yeah.
We didn't win a national. We went to a national though in Rochester, New York.
Yep.
And
I mean, the program has been a tremendous success, and so glad that you could make it here today to be honored by the New Hampshire Legends of Hockey, because you all are legends of hockey here in New Hampshire. That was an amazing run that you had, and congratulations to you all, and happy to have you all in attendance here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.